Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chill English Podcast, the place where English learning feels relaxed, natural, and a little bit like a friendly conversation at a coffee shop. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jake. It's great to have you here with us today, wherever you're listening from around the world.
Today, we're talking about something that many people experience at some point in life: living alone.
Yes, living alone. For some people, it sounds exciting. For others, it sounds a little scary.
And sometimes it's both at the same time.
Very true. Actually, Sophia, I need to tell you something embarrassing.
Oh no, when someone says that, it usually means the story is going to be good. What happened?
Well, yesterday, I realized that I had been wearing the same t-shirt for 3 days.
3 days?
3 days.
Jake!
Listen. It looked clean, and when you live alone, there is nobody there to say, hey, didn't you wear that yesterday?
That is one of the dangers of living alone. No witnesses, no fashion police.
Exactly. If nobody sees it, does it count?
I'm not sure science agrees with that idea.
But I think a lot of people who live alone understand this situation. When you live with family or roommates, someone usually notices things.
Yes, someone might say, "Did you take out the trash?" Or, "Why are there dishes everywhere?"
But when you live alone, the house becomes a kind of silent partner. It never complains.
Until the trash can becomes a mountain.
The trash mountain is very real.
And the dish mountain, too.
Oh, yes. The dish mountain is dangerous. It starts with 1 plate, then 2, then suddenly it looks like a small restaurant closed inside your kitchen.
That happens because when you live alone, there's no pressure to clean immediately.
Exactly. You think, I'll wash the dishes later.
And later becomes tomorrow.
And tomorrow becomes next week.
And then you look at the sink and think, how did this happen?
It feels like the dishes multiplied overnight.
But let's start from the beginning. Living alone is a big life change for many people.
Yes, the first time you live alone can feel very strange.
I remember my first apartment. It was very small. The living room and the kitchen were almost the same space.
Those apartments are common in big cities.
Yes, when I moved in, I put my bags on the floor, sat on the sofa, and suddenly realized something.
What was that?
It was completely quiet.
That silence can be surprising.
Exactly. When you grow up with family, there's always noise in the background.
Someone cooking.
Someone talking on the phone.
Someone watching TV too loudly.
But when you live alone, the silence feels different.
Sometimes peaceful.
Sometimes a little uncomfortable.
The first night in my apartment was similar. I remember turning on the television just to create some noise.
Not even to watch it?
No, I just wanted the sound of people talking.
That makes sense. Humans are very social.
Yes, we are. Used to being around other people.
But after a while, that silence can become something nice.
Definitely. After some time, I started enjoying it.
Quiet mornings are one of my favorite things about living alone.
Same here. I wake up, make coffee, sit near the window, and just enjoy the calm.
No one asking questions.
No one borrowing your breakfast.
That happened to me when I lived with roommates. I bought yogurt one day, and the next morning, it was gone.
The mysterious disappearing food.
Exactly.
Living alone solves that problem immediately.
Your food stays where you left it.
Unless you eat it at midnight.
That also happens.
Midnight snacks become very common when you live alone.
I once ate cereal at 1 a.m. while watching a documentary about whales.
That sounds like a very peaceful night.
It was surprisingly nice.
One of the best parts of living alone is freedom.
Yes, freedom to organize your life however you want.
You can decorate your home however you like.
You can play music whenever you want.
Or not play music at all.
You can even talk to yourself.
Wait, you do that?
Sometimes, mostly when I'm cooking.
What do you say?
Things like, "Okay, Sophia, don't burn the pasta this time."
That sounds like a very supportive conversation.
Self-encouragement is important.
I talk to myself too sometimes.
Really?
Yes, especially when I'm trying to fix something.
Like what?
Last month, I tried to fix a lamp in my apartment.
Tried?
Yes, tried.
That sounds suspicious.
Let's just say the lamp is still broken.
What happened?
I watched a video online about fixing it. The person in the video made it look very easy.
Those videos always do.
But after 10 minutes, my table was covered with screws and wires.
And the lamp?
Completely silent.
Meaning?
Meaning it did not work.
So what did you do?
I said, well, maybe lamps enjoy retirement too.
That's a very creative solution.
Living alone teaches you creativity.
It also teaches independence.
Yes, independence is a big part of it.
When you live alone, you become responsible for everything in your home.
Cooking,
Cleaning,
paying bills,
buying groceries.
and remembering where you put your keys.
That one is difficult.
Very difficult.
I once spent 20 minutes looking for my keys.
Where were they?
In my hand.
No.
Yes.
That happens more often than people want to admit.
Living alone also teaches you many small life skills.
Like learning how to cook basic meals.
Or learning how to organize your space.
Or learning that laundry does not wash itself.
That is an important lesson.
The first time I lived alone, I forgot to do laundry for almost 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes. Then one morning I opened my closet and realized I had only one clean pair of socks left.
That is a very stressful discovery.
It was a laundry emergency.
Did you solve it?
Yes. I learned how to use the washing machine very quickly that day.
Necessity is a great teacher.
Absolutely.
Living alone pushes you to become more capable.
At first, it may feel difficult.
But slowly, you start to understand your own habits and routines.
You learn what works for you.
Some people cook every evening.
Others cook once and eat the same meal for 3 days.
I have definitely done that.
The famous big pot of pasta strategy.
Efficient and delicious.
Living alone can be messy, funny, and sometimes a little chaotic.
But it is also a powerful experience.
It teaches you how to take care of yourself,
And how to build a life that feels comfortable and personal.
even if that life sometimes includes 3-day t-shirts.
Jake,
I'm improving, I promise.
we will check next week.
That sounds dangerous.
One thing I noticed after living alone for a while is that you begin to understand your own habits much more clearly.
That's very true. When you live with other people, your routines mix with theirs.
Exactly. Maybe someone else cooks dinner, or someone reminds you about something important.
But when you live alone, your habits are completely visible.
Yes, there's no one else to blame if the kitchen is messy.
Or if the refrigerator contains only random ingredients.
Oh, the famous living alone refrigerator.
You open it and see half a lemon, a bottle of sauce, and something mysterious in the back.
Something that you bought 2 weeks ago and forgot about.
And now you're not sure if it's still safe to eat.
That moment when you smell it carefully and think, maybe not.
Grocery shopping becomes a very important skill when you live alone.
Yes, because if you forget something, there's no one else who can go get it.
Exactly. If you forget milk, you either drink black coffee or go back to the store.
I once forgot 3 different things in one grocery trip.
3?
Yes, first I forgot bread.
That's a serious problem.
Then I forgot eggs.
Also very important.
And finally, I forgot the shopping bag.
That means you had to carry everything in your arms.
Yes, and I looked like a very confused supermarket acrobat trying not to drop tomatoes.
That is a very real living alone moment.
Another thing you notice when living alone is how many small tasks exist in daily life.
Yes, there are many little responsibilities.
Cleaning the floor,
Taking out the trash.
buying toilet paper before it runs out.
That one is critical.
Running out of toilet paper is a crisis.
A true household emergency.
Living alone teaches you to plan ahead,
It also teaches you about time management.
because if you don't organize your time, chores can slowly take over your day.
That's why I started creating small routines.
What kind of routines?
For example, every Sunday morning I clean my apartment.
That sounds responsible.
Well, responsible for about 20 minutes.
What happens after 20 minutes?
I get distracted.
Distracted by what?
Usually my phone.
That is the enemy of productivity.
Suddenly, I'm watching a video about how penguins survive in Antarctica.
While your vacuum cleaner waits patiently.
Exactly.
But routines really do help.
Yes, even simple ones.
Like washing dishes immediately after eating.
That prevents the dish mountain.
Or doing laundry on the same day each week.
Otherwise, you discover you have nothing clean to wear.
And then you start making creative clothing decisions.
I once wore a sweater in summer because everything else was dirty.
That must have been a warm experience.
Extremely warm.
Another interesting part of living alone is learning to enjoy your own company.
That's an important skill.
Some people worry that being alone automatically means feeling lonely.
But those are actually two different things.
Yes, being alone simply means there are no other people around you.
Loneliness is a feeling.
And being alone does not always create loneliness.
Sometimes it creates peace.
I love quiet evenings at home with a book.
Same here. I enjoy watching movies alone.
No one arguing about what to watch.
Exactly. I choose the movie, I press play, and that's it.
I once watched 3 episodes of a show in one night without anyone saying, "Let's watch something else."
That is the luxury of independence.
Living alone also means your home becomes a reflection of your personality.
Yes, your space shows who you are.
Some people decorate their homes with plants.
Others fill their shelves with books.
I tried keeping plants once.
Tried?
Let's just say the plants did not survive my care.
Plant care can be surprisingly difficult.
I watered them too much.
Or not enough.
Possibly both at different times.
Plants are very sensitive roommates.
Exactly.
But decorating your space can be very fun when you live alone.
You can arrange furniture however you like.
Even at unusual times.
Have you ever moved furniture late at night?
Yes, once at midnight.
Midnight?
I suddenly decided the sofa looked better on the other side of the room.
That sounds like a very spontaneous design decision.
It felt like a great idea at the time.
And the next morning?
I realized the television cable could not reach the wall anymore.
That's an important detail.
So I moved the sofa back.
Furniture exercise.
Exactly.
Living alone also changes the way people relax.
How so?
Because you can create your own environment.
You mean lighting candles, playing music, or making tea?
Yes, small things that make your home feel comfortable.
I think comfort becomes very important when you live alone.
Your home becomes your personal recharge space.
After a long day, it feels good to come back to a peaceful place.
You can sit down, take a deep breath, and relax.
No noise, no pressure, just calm.
However, living alone is not always easy.
That's true.
Sometimes challenges appear unexpectedly.
Especially when something breaks in your apartment.
Oh, yes.
Suddenly, you are the maintenance department.
I remember when my kitchen sink started leaking.
That sounds stressful.
I stood there staring at the water thinking, okay, now what?
Did you fix it?
Eventually.
Eventually?
After watching 5 tutorial videos and calling my friend for advice.
That sounds like teamwork. Living alone does not mean solving every problem completely alone.
That's a great point.
Friends, family, and neighbors can still help.
Even a quick phone call can make a big difference.
Sometimes you just need someone to say, "Turn the valve under the sink."
Simple advice can save the day.
Exactly.
Living alone teaches you problem-solving skills.
Yes, because problems always appear when you least expect them.
Like realizing you forgot to buy groceries.
At 10 p.m.
When every store is closed.
That's when creativity begins.
What kind of creativity?
The famous random dinner.
What is that?
A meal made from whatever you find in your kitchen.
That could be interesting.
One time I made pasta with tomatoes, cheese, and leftover beans.
Beans?
It sounded strange, but it actually tasted good.
That is a very brave cooking experiment.
Living alone encourages experimentation.
Sometimes successful.
sometimes questionable.
But always memorable.
Exactly. And even with all these funny situations, living alone remains a very meaningful experience.
It teaches independence, responsibility, and creativity.
And sometimes it teaches you how to survive dinner made from random ingredients.
That might be the most important skill of all.
Something else people discover when they start living alone is how important social connections become.
Yes, because even if you enjoy quiet time, humans still need interaction.
Exactly. After a few days of being alone, you might suddenly feel like calling a friend,
Or visiting family.
or even just having a quick conversation with someone.
I remember one evening when I had been working from home all day.
That can be very quiet.
Extremely quiet. I realized that the only voice I had heard all day was my own.
That can feel strange.
So I went to a small cafe near my apartment.
Just to be around people?
Yes, I ordered coffee and sat there for a while.
Did you talk to anyone?
Not really, but just hearing conversations around me made the place feel lively.
Sometimes being near people is enough to feel connected.
Exactly. It reminds you that you're part of a larger world.
Another helpful thing when living alone is creating a healthy routine.
Routines give your days structure,
Without them, days can start to feel the same.
especially if you work or study from home.
A simple routine might include cooking meals at regular times,
Going for walks,
calling friends.
or doing hobbies you enjoy.
Hobbies are very important when you live alone.
They keep your mind active and creative.
What hobbies do you enjoy at home, Jake?
I like reading and sometimes learning new recipes.
Cooking experiments again?
Yes, but now they are slightly less dangerous.
That sounds like progress.
I also started learning a little bit of photography.
Really?
Yes, I take pictures of everyday things around my apartment.
That's a nice idea.
It helps me notice small details I usually ignore.
Living alone can make you more aware of your environment.
Because you spend more time noticing things.
The way sunlight enters your room,
The sound of rain on the window.
the quiet feeling of early morning.
These moments can feel very peaceful.
Many people discover that solitude can be very relaxing.
Solitude means being alone in a positive and calm way.
Yes, it's different from feeling lonely.
Solitude can actually help people recharge their energy.
After a busy week, sometimes quiet time is exactly what we need.
A comfortable chair, a warm drink, and a little silence.
That sounds perfect.
But of course, living alone also teaches practical life skills.
Such as managing money,
Yes, because when you live alone, you pay for everything yourself.
rent,
Groceries,
internet.
electricity, and water.
These are often called utilities.
Utilities are services like electricity, water, heating, and internet that we use every day.
Managing these expenses is an important part of adulthood.
Many people create a monthly budget.
A budget helps you control how much money you spend.
For example, you decide how much money goes to food, transportation, or savings.
At first, this can feel complicated.
But after a while, it becomes easier.
Living alone teaches you responsibility step by step.
One small skill at a time.
Cooking a simple meal,
Fixing a small problem in your home.
planning your schedule.
Taking care of yourself when you're sick.
That last one can feel difficult.
Yes, because when you're sick and living alone, you must take care of yourself.
But it also shows how strong and capable you are.
Every challenge becomes a learning experience.
And over time, you gain confidence.
You start realizing, hey, I can handle this.
Exactly.
Living alone can sometimes feel messy and imperfect.
But that's part of the experience.
Nobody has a perfect apartment every day.
Nobody cooks perfect meals every day.
And sometimes the laundry still waits longer than it should.
That's very true.
But through all these little moments, you slowly build independence.
Independence means being able to manage your life and make your own decisions.
And that feeling is very rewarding.
It shows that you can take care of your own space, your time, and your responsibilities.
And you also learn what kind of environment makes you happiest.
Some people enjoy quiet evenings at home.
Others like inviting friends over for dinner.
Both are wonderful ways to enjoy your home.
Living alone does not mean being isolated from the world.
It simply means you have your own personal space.
A place where you can rest, think, and grow.
Before we finish today's episode, let's quickly review a few useful words we talked about.
First, independence.
Independence means the ability to live and make decisions on your own.
Next, routine.
A routine is a regular way of doing things in your daily life.
Then we have utilities.
Utilities are services like electricity, water, gas, and internet.
And finally, solitude.
Solitude means being alone in a peaceful and positive way.
Try using one of these words today in a conversation or even in a sentence you write.
Practice is the best way to remember new vocabulary.
And now we have a question for you, our listeners.
Yes, we would love to hear from you.
Tell us in the comments, what is your favorite thing about being home alone?
Maybe you enjoy cooking, watching movies, reading, or simply relaxing.
Write 1 or 2 sentences and share your experience.
Your comments help you practice English, and they help us connect with our amazing listeners.
We read every comment, and we truly enjoy hearing your stories.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please support the Chill English channel.
You can like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who is learning English.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
We hope this conversation helped you relax and practice your listening skills.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and remember that small steps every day lead to big progress.
We'll see you in the next episode of the Chill English Podcast.
Take care, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.